Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 64 of my Synth Let's Play. As you can see, I'm back in my mining gauge, and actually the first thing I'd like to do today is I received this comment a couple of times saying that apparently there is some hidden chest in that area right here, which supposedly contain a lot more pages. So I'm not sure where that hidden chest is, but let's find out so you guys can leave me alone already. I'm actually not sure what am I looking for, and I remember, yeah, oh, okay, so, oh nice, Nether Fortress, Pine Forest biome, Nether Fortress, that's nice. I wonder if you can actually place that in a non-Nether age. Mushroom Island Shore, and the Sky Color. Awesome, nice. You know what, actually that's interesting. I wonder if there is another chest also in that other place that I found. I actually would like to give that a try. Let's quickly do that. So as you can see, I'm in my mining gauge, and actually apart from quickly looting those libraries, I'm here because since my Thomic excavation system didn't work as I wanted it to, unfortunately, I'm back to having 0 resource collection, and I want to try and attempt to fix my red power quarry. Now there are two options, in my opinion, of why it's crashing every time that I'm leaving it on and then leaving the age or something. And I think it's the fact that that's the first option, is the fact that when I'm sending a signal to go forward, it also sends at exactly the same time another signal to go either up or down. And that actually may be more damaging than you might think. Maybe. The other option is the fact that the entire circuit keeps moving every single time, which is also quite bad, probably. But since I'm not sure, and since trying to fix the first problem is a lot easier, that's what I'm going to try to do this today. I actually came up with a circuit on my test world again, which should solve that problem pretty much if I manage to make it work. Basically adding 2 buffer gates and 2 logic gates and 2 NOT gates, making sure that those AND gates will check for an additional thing, whether or not I'm sending a signal to go forward. So let me get what I need to get, and also because the circuit is actually slightly bigger, I'm going to need to move this thing around. I'm going to need a bigger platform to work on. So I'm going to do some trickery here, but first let's get the extra things that I need. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to need is a buffer gate. As you might have seen already, I have looked for the recipe to make sure that I can make it. So it's going to require 2 anodes. It's very similar to a timer actually, just a mirrored recipe and a cathode instead of another cathode. So this here, this, and oh wait, no. Okay, so not really, but kind of. Okay, so I'm going to 2 buffer gates. I'm going to need 2 NOR gates, not OR gates, and those are not NOT gates, they are NOR gates, for a specific reason, because I'm going to need the signal to be coming from 2 multiple places and not 1. The difference basically between a NOT and a NOR is a NOR can accept 3 inputs and 1 output, and the NOT is the other way around. You have 1 input and 3 outputs. And then you're going to need this one specifically. Again, 2 of those. And I should actually have the rest of my cables and all spare things should already actually be in the other age. Let's bring some, just in case. I'm actually probably going to need some more paneling. So let's get that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to do is actually separate and move backwards that entire mechanism. So what I'm going to do is actually use an extra frame motor which I've already used before when I had another problem. I'm going to separate all the unnecessary things from this specific part, basically all the frames which can simply be replaceable. So Actually, before I do that, let's get to the highest point. So let's go a couple of levels up. Now again, as long as I'm here, that frame thing is working fine. It's only starting to have problems when it's in a different age, or if I'm logging out of the game and I don't know, it's in the middle of a process and something, it goes crazy, I don't know what, and that's actually quite annoying. And which forces me to basically, again, render this completely useless, because if I have to be here to keep mining, that's pretty much the same as just mining by myself. It makes it completely useless. So I'm just resetting the position to be sure. Okay, that's pretty much the position. We can turn it off. Alright, so I'm gonna need to move everything backwards. So I'm gonna separate basically the entire head from other frames. I don't need the bottommost layer because it's not actually connected. Okay, everything is disconnected. Place down this frame motor. I'm gonna move it. Let's see. Let's move it 3 steps backwards. It's gonna give me. Let's even move it 4. Even more space that I need, but that's never a bad thing. Okay, so moving backwards, I'm gonna need a battery. And I should have gotten myself a lever. Yeah, let's quickly get a lever. Do I have one here? Yep, nice. Saving some time. Okay, so it's gonna be very simple, just like this. Simply move it backwards while it's being separated from the head of the drill. 4 times. There we go. Okay, now simply taking it down because I don't need it anymore. Actually, I don't exactly recall where did I steal that battery from. Right about. Oh, here. Okay. So now I have a lot more room to work with. I can fill up the extra things with frames. Okay. And I have the room that I needed to work with, no problem. Okay, so now I have a lot more room to work with. I still didn't fill up those frames because I might even need some more room, so I can still move it, but I really doubt that will be the case. Okay, so to begin with, I'm gonna first disconnect all the end cables, just in case, to make sure that I don't send any random signals and suddenly make things go out of balance. I'm going to actually, those 5 logic gates are fine. I can keep them as is. However, those logic gates here will need to be moved. That torch as well, the timer, and let's move this as well. And yeah, that one will also have to be moved. Okay, so first let's start with readjusting these guys to be taking signals from all directions. I think my screwdriver is going to die midway. And also modify the repeaters to be having a different delay, 2 pixels difference delay. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's 4 ticks. 4 ticks delay, or 3 ticks, no, doesn't matter. Gonna move those guys away from here. I really hope this will be enough. It might not be. Okay, next up, place the repeater here. So from now on, the signal here will be slightly delayed, but just by basically 0 ticks or 1 tick. Here I'm gonna have, again, my inverted null cell. My counter is here again. Whoops, that's my timer. Actually, I want to go down first. Not my timer, but my counter. Where did my counter go? Where is it? Okay, so my counter will be here. Again, with the same 134 value. Again, that's 1 extra spare value. Actually, this time around will make slightly more sense, but it's still 1 extra value. And the timer still here with, of course, the lever locking it. So the timer here, with 5-second cycles. Here's where the magic happens, and actually you should have brought a strip which I forgot. Let me quickly get one. Okay, so just got some simple cobblestone cover strip. I'm gonna separate it here, because I don't want this timer signal here. Here I'm gonna have an alloy, just normal alloy wire. And right here I'm gonna have my new NOR gates, here and here. And in addition to those, I'm gonna have my buffer gates here, my new buffer gates, here and here. Of course, that also signal doesn't mean anything, there is no problem. And the last touch is my orange wire, which represents going forward, is here and here. And then pretty much just need to make sure that I have my white cable here. So I have all my inputs correct. And this is again the orange cable. This will be again the white cable, and just need to make sure that everything is connected. And I think I should be fine. Where did all my bundled cable go? Oh, I didn't use as much bundled cable, so I didn't break enough. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more bundled cable now though. 6 is pretty much, don't think it's enough. Might be able to do some trickery. Actually, maybe I can use some more orange cable instead. Oh no, I need... Actually, you know what? No, it's fine. Let's keep this as an orange cable because it makes sense. And I just need my white signal coming from back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I believe that's fine. Okay, let's go over it again. I just need to also connect my breakers, of course, but for now it should be enough. So my timer cycles, again, having their cycles, counting here. Every time a cycle is going, it's sending a white signal, which first will break a block, and then with the delay of the repeaters will either go up or down. Why? Because the AND gate, for example, right now for this, for going down, is only waiting for a white signal because this NOT gate is turned off, basically sending a logical yes, logical true, and also this toggle, and just waiting for a white signal. And also because it's in delay, it will break a lane of blocks first and only then go down. Whenever this counter reaches the critical point of a max distance or the other edge of the counting, it will send a signal through this non-inverted cell, first basically changing the side of the toggle, so either going up or down, but it will also send a signal first here to this buffer gate, turning on forward, but at the same time it will lock these two NOT gates, forcing them to send a false signal to those AND gates. So it will not even try going up or down, even though it can, because there is another movement taking place at the same time. And by the way, if you're not sure, a buffer gate will simply accept a signal from one side and spread it one tick later to 3 other sides. Basically just a repeater on 0 ticks, but instead of one direction, 3. It's actually a very useful tool. And from here on end, you just pretty much need to connect everything with frame again. Can actually use basic frames here. Let's connect those because I have the chest here, but the rest can be basic frames. These guys don't need to be tubes frames. There is no real need for this. So just to connect everything together. So this and 2 alloy wires. And that's pretty much should be covering the problems that I had. Let's just replace the wires. So here and here. While I'm here, it should appear to be working just the same, by the way. There should be no difference. It will be breaking a block, going down, waiting for a signal, breaking a block, going down, so on and so forth. But when it will reach the edge of the counter, those AND gates will be locked and not be able to do anything because this signal here will lock them. So the actual only test is simply changing a world and keep playing normally and see if it works or not. So for now, let's actually let's give it some time, make sure it gets to a proper height. Yeah, there we go, it's mining. very soon. There we go. Now mining. Let's go back to the overworld and see if I'm still mining without any problem. Okay, so for now I'm clearly still mining here, so there is no problem. At least not yet. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it on. I'm gonna continue doing other things and hopefully that fixed the problem. The logic gates kind of make a little bit more sense now. So it should prevent some errors. But again, that might still not be the actual problem. The problem might still be because the actual circuit, the actual logic circuit is moving too much when it shouldn't be moving so much. So, but yeah, until I won't try, I won't know. So there we go. Okay, so I gave it some time to work. I actually went back to the overworld and back here again. It's still working, so that's good. I quickly sealed those two holes here because I didn't like the creepers creeping around. And the actual thing is just about to reach the bedrock layer, so we should actually be able to see this new mechanism in action. Again, I think I have one spare tick, so that's the one. And now, or one more. And now if you look closely, you can actually see that none of those two end gates, if you can rewind the video, none of those two end gates actually turned on, when previously they did turn on. Okay, now why am I not going up? The signal is locked. And why is the signal locked? Oh, I forgot to reset it. That's silly. Whoops. Okay, now the signal should reset itself. Switch sides and go up. There we go. Okay, so while I was going to the overworld, something extremely silly and quite stupid of me has happened. On a different world, on a different test world, I've used a cheat that kind of basically lets you have all the research available from Thumbcraft. Now, for some odd reason, it carried over to this world. So I've actually, as you can see, I finished researching everything from Thumbcraft. Now, actually, if you look closely, you'll notice that you're not seeing too much new things, because I've actually researched almost everything. However, for some reason I did skip, it did instantly unlocked all those new researches for golems that I didn't yet collect, the research fragments. Now, I'm not exactly sure if there is a way around it. I'm not planning to use any of those tools, but yeah, I do know, I feel quite bad about it, because I have no idea why did it happen. I didn't expect it to happen. I thought that when you use the cheat sheet on a different world, it will only stay there. For some reason it doesn't. It also comes over here. Anyway, I actually wanted to do all of this because I actually wanted to start dealing with bees, and because now that part has been skipped for me, because now I have that apparently all my frames are already researched, there is no extra need for me to research those bees. So it seems to be a good point in time, actually probably extremely too late, to start dealing with bees, because I think most of their products are quite pointless at this point for me. I don't think they can actually give me anything that I don't really already have or have a large surplus of, but I'd like to start playing with them. And as you can see, again, I'm moving around edges and nothing crashes still, so it's pretty good. And I love that new induction smelter, which doubles my lead and tin product as well. And by the way, I also actually added gold here, just to slightly remove the strain from my induction furnaces, or not induction furnaces, my normal furnaces, because gold is quite rare, and here and then it's nice to, you know, remove the strain and move it here. Okay, so the last time I did anything bee related, pretty much a lot of things have changed since. I pretty much only did it in my Feed the Beast map challenge, and since then a lot of things have changed. Now there is the apiary, and we also have the alveary. Okay, it also have they made different blocks, but pretty much there is one main block. Now the aviary is pretty much the way you remember the original apiary. It's as efficient and as fast as you might want to call it, but the recipes for it is gone quite insane. Now the aviary seems to be one block, but it's actually, I think you need to have 16 blocks of those to actually build specific structure. And part of the recipe is bee products. You cannot create it any other way other than already have existing bees. So you gotta start with the apiary first. Now, of course, the apiary is a lot easier to craft, but it's been kind of nerfed. It's pretty much 10% as efficient as the original apiary was, and it's also requiring things that I don't have at the moment. So let's get started. I'm gonna need seed oil. I got a lot of seeds, to be honest, but to create seed oil I'm gonna need a squeezer. And if I'm not mistaken, a squeezer actually also requires Minecraft jewels. So I'm gonna start to need to look into Buildcraft Energy again, and also create this small factory here. Now again, I think I'm actually gonna create it right here, because it's very close by to my farm, which I'm gonna extract seeds from. And again, it's an empty space, there is no reason not to use it. So let's quickly make it look a little bit nicer, and we can begin. Okay, so the area is pretty much ready. Just flattened it and created it, made it look a little bit nicer. Also fenced it in, so it's also a little bit more safer from creepers at night, and pretty much lit up the entire area. Okay, so there are two things that I need to take care of. Pretty much two products that I need to make sure that I have. That are seeds, which are currently being farmed. I may make a large farm just for seeds, but for now let's keep it as is. And also Buildcraft Energy, which I think I'm simply going to extract from here. I already have that battery here in place, there is no real reason why not to use it. Just going to extend some redstone conduits, but that should be fine. So let's start getting what I need. First I'm going to need to get those impregnated casings, which would require seeds oil, and seed oil comes from squeezer. So squeezer it's created like this: a sturdy casing, tin and glass. Do I have some spare old sturdy casings? I think I actually don't, so let's just make new ones. So a lot of bronze, and let's just, probably if I'm starting to deal with bees and forestry, I'm gonna need a lot of those very soon, so let's just make a lot. Okay, so again, I'm gonna created a stack of bronze. Let's create a stack of sturdy casings, and let's create, I think, one squeezer will do. I don't need any more than one. Okay, so for that squeezer, I'm going to need probably Buildcraft Energy, I presume. Pretty sure I'm going to need Buildcraft Energy. I'm gonna need some cells or cans. Let's just start with normal cans. Yeah, cans, not cells. Let's create one more. So I got my cans, and I'm gonna need the actual seeds, and I think that's it. Let's make sure. Seed oil. Yep, seems to be just fine. Can use seeds. I can use chestnut. Not sure how you can get chestnut. Those are apparently a byproduct similar to thermal expansion. They can also use melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, seed oil. I guess that's something from the Thumbcraft bees. Some other products of food, but yeah, pretty sure, pretty easy. So I got this. Let's get some Buildcraft Energy. So I'm gonna need redstone energy conduit. May need some more tubes because I may break some of them. And I'm gonna supply the thing with the seeds manually. Not gonna automate this that actual process. So this is here. This extracts energy. Quickly fix this tubing network, which I managed to just quickly break. Okay, and the energy conduits. Okay, I don't want any funny business with the engine itself. Don't want the conduits to interact with the engine. So let's bring the power over here. Nice and hidden out of sight. And just connect it here. Okay. Squeezer. Let's place the cans and get some. I do have a ton of melons, so let's just make melon seeds out of them and use melon seeds first. So it should start producing. Yep, there you go. And it's doing it pretty fast because I have a ton of pretty much a very large supply of energy available to me right now, so there is no worrying about that. This engine keeps overheating, but when it resumes operation, it will start generating more. Ooh, this barely generates anything. Let's get a lot of stacks in here. May want to create more squeezers. You know what? Let's do it. That if that actual process is already existing, it will be a pretty easy thing to do. You know what? Let's make it a little bit nicer. Let's see. Okay, this should be a little bit nicer. So I brought 3 more squeezers. 1, 2, 3. Let's of course rearrange the powering network a little bit so all of them get the power that they need. Can break those dirt blocks so the power can come from below. So all of them get power now, but instead of filling the cans here, let's connect it to a liquid duct, which it should, I think, extract energy. It should extract a liquid, I believe, if I'm gonna do this, and place it all in an actual liquid transposer. Does it work? I want it to accept liquid from the right side. Oh wait, that's the back side. Let's just accept liquid from everywhere. Okay, why doesn't it output seed oil? Oh, that's why. I guess. Do I need to pump it out using Buildcraft engines? Come on, please tell me that I don't need to do that. Yeah, I think I have to. I want to keep squeezing in all of those guys at the same time and just store all the liquids in one place. But apparently I'm gonna have to pump it manually. I'm gonna do that, but that's quite unfortunate. I didn't really want to do that. Let's quickly get a setup to do that. Okay, so I brought pretty much what I need. Again, quite yeah, I can't really complain because those forestry machines are not supposed to be able to push liquids out. They're only supposed to create them, and you are designed to use Buildcraft pipes and redstone engines and all of that good stuff to actually pull the thing out. So let's place my redstone engines. Okay, they're all facing up, and just the torches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it should start pumping easily into my liquid transposer. There we go. Now, since 4 squeezers are running at the same time, I can very easily just put my cans here. I will need to get some power in here as well. It's all kind of a little bit ugly, I won't lie. And it should start filling up seed oil cans. So that part is pretty good. I just need to keep these guys filled up with seeds. Do I want to automate this? I'm considering. I I actually don't know how much seed oil do I actually need. That's the thing. Let's just keep this manual for now, because actually, as I said, I don't really know how much to actually need of those seed oil. So let's keep it like that for now. But it should, as you can see, start generating the seed oil cans that I need, and it can get going to the next step. So for the apiary, I'm going to need the carpenter, because you can only create this in the carpenter. You basically, how many I need? A quarter bucket for one impregnated casing. Oh, actually, that's too much seed oil, at least for creating apiaries, because this one is enough. One can is enough to create actual 4 apiaries. I don't really need that much. I need to store it somehow. Okay, so just getting a small storage unit for everything access. So let's just create one of those for now then. So in a carpenter, I guess, let's take the recipe out. Place one seed oil can, so it's got used. And place the recipe for impregnated thingy, and it should start creating 4 of them, because each one of those requires a quarter bucket from what I understand. Yep, seems to be drawing some amount. Okay, so my quarry is still clearly working, but the only actual test is to let it run for a really long time. So for now it seems like I've fixed my red power quarry, but I really won't know until it's running for quite some time, basically until it breaks up again. So it's fixed until it's broken, which is quite silly, but there you have it. So, started with bees, we'll get those guys made and get actually properly started in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching, see you guys next time.